Hello and welcome to a very special video and a happy Christmas holiday for everybody out there. I had watched a little bit ago a video by a YouTuber named Hypnotic, and he was talking about a article, as I'm going to have posted on the screen, of multiple stores announcing a discontinuation of stocking Games Workshop products. Now, there are a lot of implications to this, but one thing I'm going to say is Games Workshop views hobby shops as competition. They don't view them as vendors. They don't view them as part of their reach. They view them as competition that they would love to have not exist. So that's one. The other point I was going to make before I go into this is that he mentions them raising their price due to inflation. I wanted to make a small correction there. Games Workshop is multiple years, I believe about 5, ahead of inflation. So they're not exactly raising their price because of inflation per se, as much as keeping ahead of it. And this is considering that they're already selling you at massive markups the plastic. So here's the main part of what I was going to talk about. And that was my own experience with a store discontinuing stocking Games Workshop. Now, where I live, the local store had basically been kind of screwed out of the 10th edition launch box. They had made an order ahead of time, they were prepared for it, and then they never got it. And the reps more or less blamed them for it and basically blew them off until they said, well, screw it, we're not going to stock your products anymore. And I remember talking to the owner at the time, who is the main reason I go to the store, because I know him. And they said, hey, look, we'd been trying to get this back in the area to jumpstart it, be a kind of a hub for Games Workshop's various war games. And they'd stocked paints. They had a pretty substantial section for Warhammer, and they sold it all off at 50% like markdown. And this really does have a lot to do with the kind of asinine, shitty way Games Workshop treats vendors, treats customers. You have to remember it's run by a number of people who don't know and don't care and don't like the people who play the war game, and the war game to begin with. And the people in the middle are mostly people who are petty little would-be tyrants who have their 1 ounce of control granted to them by the corporation and will toe any line they want, leaving the customer and the average individual to basically have a company that will treat them like shit. In Games Workshop's mind, stores closing and or discontinuing sales is just, in their opinion, a way to get people to buy off their web store at full price without the markdown that a lot of stores give. So it's a kind of a nasty situation. And one of the only reasons I was even buying some of the products I did for Warhammer was because I wanted to support the local store. Without that, I just haven't bought that much, if anything, Warhammer-wise. Especially when you have other options. Let's say selling music. But my greater point is that Games Workshop really does not value or care that these stores were going to stop stocking their product. They don't care about their customers. They don't really care about a number of things because they don't really understand, in a lot of cases, the product they're making. Yeah, I know there are people that design it and do all those things, but what I mean is this: they don't value it on the same regards as an Alan Bly would. They don't value it as in the ways that people who play the damn game, invest a lot of money in it, do. Effectively, they see it as purely a transactional thing, which it is in business terms, but they're not too concerned about losing stores. Now, I wonder if this is going to become a trend that we see as more and more stores go, I'm not paying these prices. I'm not putting up with your shitty customer service. I'm not going to take the risk to put that out there. And I see if more stores do this, or if it's just a few stores that are just fed up with the whole thing and give up on it. And if this helps or hurts Games Workshop. I think in the long run, because let's face it, there's not that many Games Workshops out there, and at least in the US, there are a lot of Games Workshops, but they're very spread out. A lot of people don't like going there. I find them horrendous experiences myself. But yeah, I lost mostly any of the connection to Warhammer's products because I only really purchased them through third parties or through the store. And it is interesting to see just how disconnected that community gets as these stores close. Has anyone else experienced this? Let me know what you're thinking. But I think in the long run, this will start to have a bit of a snowball effect. And it will affect the Warhammer reach. But I don't think that they're going to care too much as they're trying to obviously transition into being a licensing product. And, well, we all lose. But regardless, I hope you have a great Christmas and a great New Year. And you can check me out on Vivian Guard's channel on basically a live stream Christmas night and New Year's night. So you have a wonderful time and bye-bye.